another edition of Math is Still Math. Today we're talking about standard 7GB4. It has everything to do with area and circumference of circles. You're expected to be able to calculate these values depending on what the problem gives you. So today we're going to be doing about 6 problems of various degrees of work. Let's get into it with problem number 1. Alright, so our first problem here has to do with finding the area of a circle when the given information is the radius. Okay, so step number 1 is just write down the formula that we're going to be using. So the area of this circle is equal to pi times the radius to the second power. Step 2 is replacing these variables with the numbers that we already know based on the given information. So the area is equal to, for pi, now if you have a calculator that has the pi function, you can use that. But for this demo, I'm going to use an acceptable decimal value of 3.14. Times the radius to the second power. Now, over here it says that the radius is 12 inches, so that'd be times 12. Twice. That's how you interpret the second power. So, let's see how that calculates. I must have hit the wrong button. There it is. That's what I wanted. Okay. So 3.14 times 12 times 12. So let's see, the area would be pi r squared. So apparently our area is going to be equal to, what was that number? 452 and 1600ths. Yeah. Now I will say this. Right here, a more exact answer, let's say you're doing an online lesson and it doesn't want a decimal, you could have also said that this would be 144 pi. Those are both completely acceptable. The red version is a decimal answer using 3.14 as an approximation for pi, and the 144 pi would be an exact answer, avoiding the approximation. But both very good answers. So that's how you find the area of a circle when the only information they give you is the radius. Let's get into problem number 2. So this problem is a little different. It's asking us to find the area just like problem number 1, except that this one is giving us the diameter, not the radius. So we have a little bit of extra work to do. Let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is write down my formula for area. The area of this circle is going to be equal to pi r squared. So we have a bit of an issue here. I don't know what the radius is. Fortunately, though, I do know parts of a circle. So a radius is halfway across the circle, starting at the center, which means that it's half of the diameter. So, a little sidebar here. So, the diameter divided by 2 equal the radius. So that means that 40 divided by 2 is going to be the radius, which is 20 inches. Okay, so that's what I'll use for radius. Moving right along. So that means that the area is going to be equal to 3.14 times 20. Let me move all this scrap work out of the way. That's better. Times 20. Because when we say the second power, that means multiply that value times 1 twice. Okay, so let's see what that comes out to be. 3.14 times 20 times 20. 1,256. So the area equals 1,256. And that would be in inches squared. And again, like I said in the first problem, if you want an exact answer, well, this one came out pretty exact, right? Because there's no decimal there. An acceptable answer also would have been 20 times 20 times pi. So you could have also said the 400 pi. And I'm pretty sure we can double check that. If I actually took 400 and multiplied by 3.14, yeah, it's gonna, basically come out to be the same answer. So that is how you find the area of a circle when the only information they give you is the diameter. Let's get into problem number 3. Okay, our third problem shifts gears, and now we're going to be finding the circumference of a circle. The circumference is the distance around the circle one time, so it's just a line basically. And in this problem, we are given an image where we know the diameter. So how do we get the circumference from a diameter? Well, let's go ahead and start by writing down the formula for the circumference of a circle. So the circumference of a circle is equal to diameter times pi. That's it. You take the diameter, you multiply times pi, and you got your circumference. So let's fill in what we know. We don't know what the circumference is yet. We do know the diameter is 45 inches. And we know pi, as an approximation, is 3.14. So that's kind of all we need to do. So what's 45 times 3.14? 141.3. (141 3/10 inches). That's it. Of course, you could have also stopped here. You could have also said that the circumference is 45 pi. That handwriting is atrocious. Let's try that again. Okay, so 45 pi. These are both acceptable answers depending on whether you're answering an online lesson or with the multiple choice has pi in the answer. So 141 3/10 inches or 45 pi inches are both great acceptable answers. So that is how you find the circumference of a circle when the given information is the diameter. Let's go ahead and move into problem number 4. Okay, so problem number 4 does ask us to find the circumference. However, they don't give us the diameter. In this one, they give us the radius. So how do we get this one started? Let's start with a formula. The circumference of a circle is the diameter times pi. Thing is, they didn't give us the diameter. Fortunately, I know circles. The diameter is all the way across. So if you tell me that half of that is 16, the diameter is 2 times the radius. So that means the diameter for our circle here would be 2 times 16. Therefore, our diameter must be 32 feet. Great. So now that I have that figured out, a little bit. So that means that our circumference will be 32 times 3.14. That's it. I got the diameter now. Multiplied by pi, we're good. So, what is 32 times 3.14? Bing, 100.48. So the circumference equals 100.48. That's 148 hundredths feet. And like I was saying before, if you wanted a very exact answer for another medium, you could have said 32 pi. These are both very good answers. And depending on the assessment, or depending on the question, depending on the answer bank, you might need to know both. So that is how you find the circumference of a circle when they only give you the radius. Let's move into the next problem. Okay, so we've reached the point where we're going to start using the area to get information. This is going to require some more steps, what I like to call undo math. We're starting with an area, we want radius diameter. So we are still going to use our area formula, which is the area of a circle equals pi r squared. That's still what we're going to use. However, we have different information now. So let's go ahead and replace these variables with the numbers that we do know. So we know the area is 49 pi, and that's equal to pi r squared. And that's, so see, so the area was on this side of the equation, so I've replaced it. The known area, so right here it tells it on this side of the equation. So this is where we start to do undo math. So in this case, right now this radius squared is being multiplied by pi. So I can get rid of pi by dividing by pi. But whatever I do to one side of the equation, I also have to do to the other side of the equation, because an equal sign is a symbol of balance. So I'm going to divide both sides by pi. And here's an interesting thing that's going to happen. When you multiply anything by a certain value, and then you immediately divide it by the same value, it's like you didn't do anything. I mean, if you had an amount and you multiplied by 5, and then you immediately divide it by 5, you go back to the number you started with. Sometimes us math teachers say we're canceling something out, and that's really what I'm referring to. Pi divided by pi is going to be 1. Pi divided by pi is going to be 1, and 1 times 49 is still 49. And 1 times r squared is still r squared. So that's where we're at so far. Move my scrapbook just a little bit. So we have one bit of undo math left to do. We need to get, we just want r, we don't want r squared. Now the opposite of doing the second power is taking a second root. More affectionately called in this case as a square root. The square root is whatever number times itself would give you your original number. So that means the square root of r squared is just r, which is what we want. We want to find the radius. Now we need to find the square root of 49. So what number times itself makes 49? 7. 7 times 7 makes 49, so the square root of 49 is 7. In case you want to see a keystroke for that, you're going to need a scientific calculator. So I'm going to hit 49 on my calculator here, and then I've got to find my root of, which is this weird big looking checkmark thing. There it is. So the square root of 49 is 7. Now, depending on your calculator, depending on what device you're using, you might have to look at a button that looks a little different. So I encourage you to find that. Check with me. Excuse me. And check with me to make sure you're doing it correctly in class. But we're not finished yet. The radius is 7 yards. Okay. We don't have a diameter. Thank goodness we understand circles, right? Because if we know the radius is 7 anything, whatever unit, so in this case it's yards, well then we're gonna know the diameter pretty quickly, because 2 times the radius is equal to the diameter. So what's 2 times 7? It'll be 14 yards. So the diameter is 14. And that is how you find the radius and the diameter. And the information it gave you was the area of the circle. Let's move on into the next problem. Alright, last problem of the video. Finding diameter when the problem gives you the circumference. Well, okay. This also has another choice. There's no picture here, so we're going to have to make our own picture, which I highly recommend you do every time you have a problem like this. The circumference of a bicycle wheel is 6 pi inches. Find the diameter of the wheel. Okay, step 1 in this problem, I think, is just to draw a circle. Alright, so there's my bike. Now, it also said the circumference of a bicycle wheel is 6 pi. Okay, let's write that down. So, the circumference equals 6 pi. They said that right there. The circumference of the bicycle wheel is 6 pi. And they want to know the diameter. Find the diameter of the wheel. That's our goal. That's what we want to do right now. Okay. Well, let's start by writing down the actual formula for the circumference of a circle. So the circumference is equal to the diameter times pi. Okay. We want to know the diameter of the circle. Okay, so let's plug in what we know. We know that the circumference is 6 pi, so that means that 6 pi equals diameter times pi. And this is where we have to do some undo math. Both sides are being multiplied by pi. If I want the diameter by itself, I have to divide. I have to do the opposite. So what's the opposite of multiplying by pi? Let's just divide by pi. But whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other side, because the equal sign is a symbol of balance. Back to my favorite math word in reducing anything, canceling out. Pi divided by pi is 1, and 1 times the diameter is still going to be the diameter. Pi divided by pi is 1, and 1 times 6 is still 6. Therefore, 6 equals the diameter. Well, there you go. And in this problem, it asked for the radius. We just got that in half, but That's the nuts and bolts of it. That's how you find the diameter of a circle when the only information they give you is the circumference. I hope this video has been instructive. I hope you go back and watch the problems again to review. Make up your own questions, ask me questions, and post them in the comments. And until next time, remember, math is still math.